My mom died of cancer when I was 3 years old, and my father was an over-the-road truck driver. At a very young age, left me without a relationship established with my biological parents. My stepmother was abusive to myself and my brothers, which eventually transpired into my little brother's death. Before I was even a teenager, I ran away from home, and one of the best things that ever happened to me was becoming in state's custody. I found myself in juvenile detention centers and remained there until I was 17 years old, at which time I went into a group home. I ended up going to a normal high school, and I even got a high school diploma, which at the time I was very proud of. And I was approached by a Marine recruiter who asked me if I wanted to join the Marine Corps. I told him if he could get me in, I would go. Well, Staff Sergeant Llanos got me in. So there I was, United States Marine Corps Infantry. In February 2004, I went to my first deployment in Iraq. I went back in 2005 for a second, and 2006 for a third. And I was more than set on going back to Iraq until I died there. I felt confident that this was the highest and best use of my life. I had no clue what else I would do with my life, and I knew this was honorable. Well, after my third deployment, I was diagnosed with PTSD in 2007. I was non-deployable, and it really felt like the weight of the world. I really had no clue what I would do. This really led into a downward spiral and a losing battle with PTSD. In 2012, I almost killed myself. I literally decided to read a book on forgiveness because I had nothing else to lose. I read the book and I made the decision to forgive my stepmom, and I had to keep reminding myself that I made that decision. It took me about 2 years before I started to believe it myself. I read success stories about people that had done amazing things and come from even worse stories than I did, and it really gave me hope that I could be something else. So in 2015, I set a goal to read 12 books. I read 25 books that year, and I haven't slowed down since. I've spent hundreds of hours and read countless books. And in the last few years, I've begun to share back with others, mentoring other veterans with PTSD and other people through trauma transition. And about a year ago, I started a career in real estate. And after all that, why real estate? I chose real estate so I could expand my network, so I could have a greater reach to touch more people. It is my ultimate goal to be a coach for trauma transition, for people that have been through things like myself. Whether it have been worse or whether it have been less, it's all the same weight to that person. And in 2012, there was no way that I could see through the fog or the dark. And now I know that there's so much more. I want to be that success story for someone else to believe in. My name's Greg Pihs, and you can learn more about my story at gregpihs.com. I look forward to serving you.